Hey everyone, welcome to Hooper's Radar. Man, we gotta talk about this trade with Damian Lillard going to the Milwaukee Bucks, Yusuf Nurkic going to the Phoenix Suns, and DeAndre going to the Blazers. That is one of the most insane trades, guys, and I just want to get straight into it and discuss it. So we have the details here right on The Athletic and Shams as well that posted it. And the Portland Trailblazers are trading All-NBA guard Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team deal. The full trade involves the Blazers receiving Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, the Bucks 2029 first-round pick, and Bucks draft swaps in 2028 and 2030. The Suns are receiving Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. So let's break down this trade for every team, and let's see what this brings to each team, and is this an even trade? Did everybody get good value out of this? So first of all, we all knew all the discussions between the Miami Heat and Damian Lillard, and that Damian Lillard's preferred destination for the longest time and only destination, according to his agent, was the Miami Heat. We all know the talks between the Miami Heat and the Blazers completely stalled out after so many multiple attempts and months of discussion leading to nowhere, and that is why this trade happened. I believe the Miami Heat and Portland Trail Blazers just had to end it, or the Portland Trail Blazers just got fed up and tired of it getting nowhere with the Miami Heat, and it decided that they already have other suitors that might have more pieces they're more interested in, such as the Suns giving up DeAndre Ayton, and they took this trade, ran with it, and they had partners. It was a three-way trade. So the Bucks get Damian Lillard, which is crazy. You're pairing up Damian Lillard with Giannis now. That has to be a top 3 duo in the league. I can't name the other 2 best duos off the top of it, but this is definitely, it has to be a top 3 duo in the league. This is such an elite duo. And man, this is crazy for the Bucks. You know, with the whole Giannis's future being uncertain there, and him, you know, wanting the whole team to be on the same standpoint of winning. Well, the Bucks front office just proved to them that they want to keep Giannis and they want to continue winning by making another big move and bringing in Damian Lillard after they brought in Drew Holiday not too long ago to help them get over the hump and win a championship. Next, the Blazers get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, and some draft compensation with the 2029 first-round Bucks pick and the Bucks pick swap. And I like this for the Blazers. I think the big piece here that the Blazers are intrigued to have is DeAndre Ayton, who is still incredibly young, and his development did stall a little bit on the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant and Booker, and you know, the big pressured situation to win now being there, and that might have been why DeAndre Ayton's production and development stalled a bit, especially after Chris Paul left. We definitely saw DeAndre Ayton struggle after that. But now on the Blazers gets a fresh start. He's alongside Scoot Henderson, which will hopefully like grow with him and make him a better player. He's alongside guys like Sharp and Anthony, so this is definitely going to be nice for DeAndre Ayton. He gets a nice start, and he can be one of the key players on this team immediately as being one of the older players now on the Portland Trail Blazers. Next, you know, the Blazers got Drew Holiday. This is interesting. I don't think Drew Holiday is going to stay on the Blazers. He just doesn't fit the timeline, and we already have plenty of guards. I think Drew Holiday is either going to get bought out or the Blazers will ship him somewhere else for some solid value. But Drew Holiday gone from the Bucks already. I like Drew Holiday on the Bucks team. He really helped him get over the hump after the Eric Bledsoe era, and it's tough to see Drew Holiday go. Now, I know Drew Holiday wanted to probably stay a Buck for the rest of his remaining years in the NBA, but it looks like the Bucks had to end it early, a little earlier than they probably thought they would, and Drew Holiday had some great contributions to that championship they won. So it's tough, I'm sure, for Drew Holiday to go, but he was probably the best piece aside from Chris Middleton that could be traded. So they did it. They did Drew Holiday for Dame in that one. So Drew Holiday won't be on the Blazers, but I do like what the Blazers got. I mostly like DeAndre Ayton. I want to see if he can continue and resume his development, and now with such a much less pressured situation, there is no really big pressure or standard to win in Portland. Maybe DeAndre Ayton is way more confident now and will play his game again and get better. Next, the Suns get Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, Grayson Allen. I love this for the Suns. They already made so many moves during the offseason to improve their depth, and they get more depth now. They bring in Yusuf Nurkic at center, who is still a solid center, don't get me wrong. I know DeAndre Ayton is probably still better than Nurkic at this point in his career, but DeAndre Ayton's contract was big. They saved more money with Yusuf Nurkic, with him not being as highly paid as DeAndre Ayton is, and Yusuf Nurkic is still a valuable center. He isn't as durable as DeAndre Ayton and obviously as young, but he is a bit more proven in the sense of Nurkic is pretty consistent with what he's going to give you. He's going to give you solid rebounding, some solid scoring. The defense is definitely where he completely lacks, but he's one of the better playmaking centers, and I like Nurkic's role and how it fits better next to all these star players that the Suns have compared to Ayton. Ayton kind of probably wanted the ball more and wouldn't have settled for such a smaller role. But Nurkic has been used to being a more role player type of center, so I think Nurkic will fit in nicely, and he's a much more affordable contract than DeAndre Ayton. And then aside from all the pieces the Suns already have with the wing depth they got during free agency, they bring in Nasir Little, another solid young defensive wing. They bring in Keon Johnson, an athletic guard, and they bring in Grayson Allen, one of the better shooters in the league, and he was a starter for the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Suns gained more depth. I think this is a really underrated win and trade for the Suns. A lot of people are talking about Damian Lillard going to the Bucks and Ayton going to the Blazers, but I really like this trade for the Suns. They got some good value out of this, some good pieces, and added more depth to the championship roster I believe they already have. So, and it's going to be interesting seeing which guys play on the Suns, because they have a ton of guys that can play out there, that can start, that can be six-mans, and there's only so many minutes to go around with all the players that this deep Suns team has. But this trade is so interesting. I think this automatically makes the Bucks the favorites to come out of the East. I don't know who else would be the favorites. I mean, the Celtics are probably going to be the favorites. The Heat maybe would have been the favorites if the Heat would have landed Lillard. But now with the Bucks landing Lillard, the Bucks are probably the favorites to come out of the East, right in front of the Boston Celtics. And man, this has to suck for the Miami Heat. You spent your whole offseason not making a ton of moves because you wanted to keep some solid pieces for this Damian Lillard trade. They really thought they had Damian Lillard in the bag because Damian wanted to come here and this was the only option. He was telling his agent to let other teams know that he would not show up to other team camps, only to the Miami Heat's team camp. And all that waiting, all that negotiating, all of zero action for the Miami Heat, waiting on this move, just for this move to completely backfire and fold on the Miami Heat. And now the Miami Heat have nothing left. Strus is gone, Vincent is gone. The small free agent moves they made with Josh Richardson and Thomas Bryant are nothing major, and it looks like the Heat aren't going to be that great this year. They're still going to probably be a perennial playoff team. Of course, I'm never going to count out Jimmy Butler, but with Dame going to the Bucks now, this only makes the Bucks stronger and the Heat much weaker. So I love this move for the Bucks, though. You know, happy for them. As a Blazers fan, it's tough to see Dame go, but I like the young future we have, and I like this for Dame. He pairs up with Giannis and another small market team just like Portland, and hopefully, you know, they make a good run this year. This is a dangerous duo, and I love this team already, man. Damian Lillard with Giannis and Chris Middleton should be a lethal trio if we can get the normal, you know, peak Chris Middleton back, alongside with Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton. This team still has a very good team and one of the better starting lineups and one of the best six-man in Portis. So for the Bucks, this is such a great move, and they get a great player in Lillard that will definitely elevate them and make them instant favorites, I believe, in the East. For the Blazers, I like this. Bring in more youth with DeAndre Ayton. We now have a younger center. You get off of Yusuf Nurkic because he doesn't really fit the timeline that much anymore. And we have an interesting lineup. You know, we got Scoot, Sharp, Anthony, Jeremy Grant, and now Ayton. And I know it's not a playoff roster, but it's a pretty... There's some perennial star talent in that lineup, all over that lineup, I think. So for the Blazers, I like this too. For the Suns, they get more depth out to their championship roster. They were kind of just, I feel like, the suitor in this, but Nurkic is definitely a solid pick. So I like this trade a lot for each team. I think they all got very good value. I don't think, you know, I think if anybody could have gotten a little bit more value, it could have been the Bucks. All they got was one player in return, as in the other two teams got, you know, the Blazers got some picks and multiple players, and so did the Suns. I think the Bucks could have at least gotten one player from Portland or Phoenix, like one role player, nothing major. But, you know, Damian Lillard is still very good. He still got the value. You know, he's going to add so much value to this team. He's one of the best scorers in the league. He's still averaging 30 at, you know, in his older ages, and he's still in his prime right now. So I love this for both teams, for all three teams. I really do love this. I think this is a great move. I don't know what much else to say. I can't wait for the NBA season to come around the corner, but this trade just absolutely broke the NBA, and I don't know what much else there is to say. Let's see how this plays out, but I think this is a great trade, and this really just broke the NBA. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this trade in the comments. What were your instant reactions to it? But I hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe to stay on the radar for all things basketball.